Hey everybody, it's Natasha Lara Lewis from Big Rock Organics and welcome to week 5 of our CSA box. Wanted to walk you through what's new this week, and we do have a couple of new things which we're very excited about. So number 1, we have these beautiful heads of broccoli. Aren't those awesome? So did you know that you can actually eat all the stem as well? In Italy they have this very cool little tool that like squishes the stems and makes it into little like tiny julienne sticks, and then you keep it connected at the bottom and put it into cold water, and each of these little sticks forms a spiral. It's very cool, and they do that with the broccoli stems. But you can eat all these stems. In fact, the broccoli is really tender, and so you can eat the stems even raw. They are great. Sometimes if the skin is a little thick here, you can just peel it, but usually I just toss that in while I'm cooking up the broccoli, or add it to a slaw or something like that. So you can use all that stem on the broccoli. Really beautiful. We've taken really great care to make sure that this is super healthy, and very proud of the broccoli this year. We also have coming in later in the season different kinds of cauliflower, different colors of cauliflower, but the broccoli we are definitely going to be having here for hopefully the next couple of weeks. When we cut the large heads of broccoli, then we get little side shoots of broccoli coming too, so hopefully we'll have broccoli for a little while yet. So very excited, yay for broccoli. It's such a fun veggie to eat, especially those little tiny trees. They're so adorable, right? All right, we've got some greens. Now we are saying goodbye to the lettuce. Oh, we're gonna miss you, lettuce. It's been a really fun time. We've enjoyed every minute together. But we're just gonna have to transition to some different kinds of salad with some different kinds of greens. So this week, we're gonna have that mix of the purple kale and the Toscano kale. And that one is at the one side of your bag, and at the other side of your bag is spinach. So the spinach is on its way out, but we should have kale and chard and other greens like that for a little while. So this one here is a mix of those two greens, and both of those you could use the same in cooking together, or making into a salad, and those are great, or making into kale chips. Just a couple of my favorite ways to use that. So there's some of those guys. All right, we have some arugula. Again, you know, this is kind of short seasons for some of this stuff. So it's our arugula, last arugula for right now, but we'll be having, you know, other plantings coming along. One of my favorite things is a BAT, not a BLT. So arugula with the tomato and bacon. Great combination. Our tomatoes aren't ready yet. They'll be coming along in about another, oh gosh, probably about a month or so. But if you can find yourself some decent tomatoes, find yourself some nice thick sliced bacon, make yourself a BLT. That is something delicious. That is always a great summer flavor. And I personally love the flavor of arugula to offset all of that other stuff. It's so, so good. So there we go. This is also great in wraps and things, you know, just jazzes up a sandwich. We've been making a lot of wraps at our house. You can get wrapped tortillas sort of thing, and we just throw all kinds of things in there, and it's so delicious and refreshing. You can make them ahead of time. So when you're busy this summer or you don't feel like cooking a lot, make a few wraps ahead of time and use the different greens in there, and just pack such a punch. All right, so we did have some questions about storing different things. Now, we've got things in bags, but some of the things are not in bags. And so even things like the broccoli and other veggies, I like to put them all in a Ziploc bag or a plastic container or glass container or whatnot in the fridge. It is really important. If you think about going to the grocery store, you put everything in a little plastic bag, right? So it's important to keep the moisture on things in the fridge. Or this is what I do, because I have some extra fridge space, is I keep my entire CSA box in a fridge. And it happens to be like a fridge in our garage, but if you have an extra space and an extra fridge, you can put it in there, just keep it in the box, keep that damp towel on it, and then I go through and get what I need throughout the week. I have to say, I do like prepping my veggies better and having them ready in the fridge, but if you can't, you don't have the time, putting the box in there, putting the towel on top is a good way to keep it fresh. So make sure you keep everything in like plastic bags or containers or something of that sort in the fridge. That you don't want to just leave them out, because they'll get kind of limp if you do that. So really just a little tip and trick there. Okay, we're bringing chard back. Chard is always a fun one, and you know, we were talking about making like pasta salads for the 4th of July week, and this would be a fun one to add in for some flavor. I also just had a pasta salad, speaking of arugula, that had arugula in it, and it was so delicious. So, you know, think about using some alternate things like this, and wouldn't those stems look just so pretty in a salad chopped up? So add that to a salad this week or saute it. It is so good, so wonderful, and so colorful. I just love things with color, don't you? All right, speaking of color, bringing your way some big, beautiful onions. So these are a different variety than the onions that we've had so far. These are actually an onion. It's called red long of tropea. It's an Italian variety. They're kind of more elongated, and we're using them as fresh onions this week. So that means that they're not going to store. You want to keep them in the fridge. You can use the tops. However, they are a little bit more, you know, heavy duty than a scallion. But if you're adding them to something that you're cooking, like a pasta or stir fry, they're really great for that because they have more body than a scallion. So you can use the tops if you'd like, but you can use, you know, any part of the onion part down here, you know, and great onion flavor, just like an onion. They're going to be, you know, nice and pungent and flavorful and so delicious. So those are those red long of tropea onions. So happy to see some big onions finally. Woohoo! So enjoy those, guys. The whole entire packing room, and myself included, smells deeply and richly of onions, and not all bad. All right, I just think I'm gonna take a shower before I go do anything else today. We've got some dill, and that is just beautiful and lush. This is a new crop of dill that we have, and you just want to take and like pick off the leaf parts. There's some stems here. You don't really want to chop up the stems, just chop up the leaves, and it's so flavorful. I love dill with any number of things. You can throw it on the turnips, you can throw it on the carrots, any of those like roasted vegetables. Use it in a fresh salad. My favorite dressings, if you're making a salad dressing, would be a sour cream dill dressing, and we'll include some recipes for that. If you can't use all this dill, it freezes beautifully. Just take those leaves off, and you don't have to take each individual leaf, just like, you know, the bunch of leaves. Toss them in, wash them, dry them, toss them in a bag in the freezer, and then you can just pull them out when you need to and chop it. Or I like to chop it ahead of time so that way it's ready. And I tell you, it keeps its beautiful color, it keeps its flavor, and it's so perfect. So if you want to make something, you know, salad dressing fresh in the winter, you'll have it. So if you don't use it all, go ahead and do that. Also for storage, just take and kind of bend this in, put it in a bag or a glass container or something, put a paper towel, dry, not wet. It'll absorb that extra moisture, and you can store it that way, and they'll store for a couple weeks that way. So, all right, we got dill, we've got more of our favorite turnips, these gorgeous little guys. We're gonna be phasing these out soon, but I hope you've been enjoying roasting them. It's a great way to use these up, pickling them, all kinds of different ways. And they store wonderfully, so just stick them in the back of the fridge and forget about them for a few weeks. You'll be excited to discover them later on, and you know, add them to all kinds of fun stuff. But I do love me a quick pickle, and these make a really good quick pickle as well. I've been slicing them and putting them on salads. They have a nice crunchy, sort of radishy flavor, but not quite as spicy. So I do like those to throw on top of a salad. We've got carrots back again. I think we're gonna give these a break next week, but we've had 2 full weeks of the most gorgeous, huge, delicious carrots. They're so beautiful. So we have really been enjoying these. We have purple carrots and I think red carrots that are in the next planting. That will be pretty fun and exciting. And then we'll follow up with a last planting here in a couple of weeks. And I just think carrots are the best thing in the world. Of course, you can cook the tops as well. Well, I shouldn't say cook. I've seen recipes for carrot pesto and things like that. But these beauties, same way, store them in a bag with a paper towel, dry paper towel, and they'll last for a long time. Otherwise, if you just store them out, they'll get a little bit like, you know, flippity floppity. So carrots, yay for the carrots. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And last but not least, very excited, new in town, we've got squash. Now you might have a different kind of squash. This year I planted kind of a variety of different squashes. So throughout the weeks, because these are just starting, like we literally picked our first ones for us to cook on the grill on Saturday night, and we took them and we just split them lengthwise, brushed on a little olive oil and seasoning. I like garlic powder and Italian seasoning. And then we grilled it enough just to scorch it a little bit on both sides, and it was delicious. So we cooked those this weekend, and this is our first official picking. So we're hoping that'll pick up as we get through the season here. But we've got some yellow zucchini, we've got this gray zucchini, regular zucchini, we've got some yellow squash. So you might be getting one of many different kinds of summer squash this week, and hopefully we'll get a variety in your boxes as the season continues. Our friend Lisa makes these wonderful zucchini boats, I think she calls them, and she takes larger zucchini that are, you know, like this size or so, and she just splits it down the middle, opens it up, she carves out a little boat, and then she stuffs and puts Italian sausage in there and mozzarella cheese, and she grills them just long enough, you know, to kind of make the zucchini tender and to melt the cheese, so not too long. And those are so delicious. And you could of course stuff them with any meat substitute or, you know, favorite meat that you like. So those are something fun, but do grill these. They taste delicious grilled. You can cut them on the bias to make long slices to grill. You could also make a zucchini lasagna. You know, I'm not even going to get into all the things you can do with zucchini, because believe me, as the weeks go on, we will definitely be talking a lot about zucchini and giving ideas. So just savor and enjoy this wonderful zucchini this week, being the first, because let me tell you, first is always the most special. And you know, as the weeks go on, you'll be seeing more and more zucchini. We also had some flowers last week for Wednesday's boxes, and this week for Monday's boxes, and that is some of the yarrow. So I hope you've been enjoying those. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful 4th of July week, everybody. And it is Farmer Jonathan's birthday month this month, so we are wishing him a very happy birthday as well. So lots to celebrate. Stay safe, have fun, eat well, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye.